don't know what's going on with the defense, really. I mean, obviously there's still the struggles every day, but I think it's slowed down a little bit, and I kind of understand what's going on, what kind of looks I'm getting.
What are you seeing from that defense? Obviously, a lot of people are talking about how disguising things better, confusing defense or offenses. Have you still kind of seen that for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. They're doing a lot. They're giving us a lot of bits, and they're making practice hard on us, which is good. Yeah.
Devin, do you feel that your early enrollment has helped you transition a little bit easier going into your first year?
Without a doubt. I think the guys that came later kind of realized how much of a step ahead we really had, especially just in the weight room, getting weight on and having our bodies be ready to go on the field. But I think it was a huge advantage for me coming early.
For you as a quarterback, what's been the biggest focus for you in this preseason camp?
Just fully grasping the offense even more. I mean, we're adding new stuff every day, so just got to wrap my head around all that and knowing what's going on with the defense. I mean, there's a lot that goes on offensively that I didn't have the role of doing in high school and everything, so it's a big learning curve, but that's really the main focus is.
Playing for 3 years at Queen Creek and having a guy like Joe Germain, a former Buckeye legend, having him as a coach, has he given you any advice going into your first year at Columbus?
Yeah, I mean, he's told me a bunch of stories of when he first got here, and just there's always highs and lows was kind of the main thing. It's a roller coaster like everything, and it's never as bad as it seems. It's never as good as it seems. So just keep going, keep grinding every day.
Devin, what do you admire about CJ and maybe trying to pick up from him in just operating the offense?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very vocal leader. I mean, the whole team is very surrounded by him and listens to what he says and really will do anything for him. But I think the main thing I kind of admire from him is how much he knows offensively. Like, he just has such a good understanding, and he can really see things before that I wouldn't even have seen. He really anticipates things instead of reacting to things, and I think that's the biggest thing I look at.
Thank you, sir.
Devin, what was kind of your biggest takeaway from that scrimmage that Saturday? What was the kind of biggest thing you took away from it?
Biggest thing, I mean, it went pretty fast. I think just having to slow down a little bit. It was still a little fast paced, and things kind of got a little away from me at some points. But just got to keep steady and kind of slow down on some things.
Devin, is there sort of a mentality with the coaching staff, maybe with Coach Dennis, with Coach Day, where they're encouraging you to be a risk taker in those scrimmages to try and make plays that you might be able to learn from and develop from in the future as you're thrown into more vocal roles?
I mean, yes and no. It just kind of depends on the situation. But their main focus right now is making routine plays routinely.
And when it comes to, I know you said and when we met you back in January that you were really looking forward to the competition that you were going to have in the quarterback room. I know that you guys talk about the brotherhood, the relationships that you guys all share, but do you guys have this mentality that there is a competitive edge between you, CJ, Kyle, and some of those other guys that are in the room?
Yeah, I mean, you're competing every day trying to be better than the guy next to you, but at the end of the day, we just all got to get each other better. That's the main focus, is getting the team better. And I mean, we talk about this all the time in the quarterback room, that it takes the whole unit to really go win games. And so you never really know what's going to happen. So just be the best you, be the best teammate you can be to make this team better.
Devin, what's the most challenging part of transitioning to this level?
For sure the speed. Obviously, I think that's kind of a given for everybody. But I'd say the biggest thing for me is there's a fine line of being a leader and being able to be that leader when you're not fully there offensively. I feel like in order to be a leader, you have to have all your stuff right and be able to show that you're doing everything right first. So there's just kind of a fine line of being able to get guys going, but also having your own stuff going.
Do you think that you're already noticing that speed that you talked about? Is it slowing down since you went through spring? You got to look at it, got to adjust to it. Are you already noticing that, or is it still?
No. I've definitely noticed it. It's completely different from the spring. I felt like spring just went like that, and every play was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it slowed down for sure.
Devin, how do you change your mentality as a quarterback in that situation? You come from high school, you're throwing for 8,000 yards, you're doing whatever you want. You come here, and the defensive backs are a little faster, the windows are a little smaller. How do you have to adjust what you do on the field?
I think it just goes back to really understanding what everything that's going on. I can't just be reacting to stuff. I feel like I was reacting to a lot of plays early on and still am, but you just have to have an understanding of everything so you're anticipating things instead of reacting.
Is there a danger to trying to rein yourself in too much and not do the things that got you here?
I mean, not really. I think, like I said before, just making routine plays routinely and not trying to force things, just stick to my rules and just go as I can.
Weird question. I know he makes you a better quarterback. Jackson Smith-Njigba makes you a better quarterback. Is it fair that he practices? Or should the other receivers get all the reps because he's so good and it's hurting the team?
Don't entertain this notion.
I'm just saying, he makes it so easy, right?
I mean, yeah, Jackson's a great player. I mean, he makes incredible plays, but every guy in our receiving core is incredible, and they're doing a lot of great things. It's not just him.
Okay, so you think he should still practice?
Yes, for sure.
I know you got a graduation present that was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Have you used that at all on anything?
I have not. My dad kind of gave me a whole story to everything about it, and I didn't even bring it up here. It's still back in Arizona, but I'm gonna frame it up and me and my dad kind of a story about what the first thing I'm gonna sign it with. So.
Was that just something that you've been interested in? Are you interested in pens? Or
I knew nothing about it. I really had no idea, and then he showed me the little story of it. I did a bunch of research on it, and like I said, he gave me a whole letter with a story about what I was supposed to do with it. So it's kind of an inside thing, but it's really cool.
Devin, you said it takes a whole quarterback room to go win a football game. How would you describe your role, and what sort of things do you do to help out the quarterback room?
I mean, I think it's just showing up every day and doing the best I can. When I'm competing with the guys, they're trying to be better than me, and I'm trying to be better than them. So us just working with each other, we're always trying to get better. And just being in the offense, understanding things, being able to assist when they have questions, anything like that. But you never know what's going to happen in the game. You just got to be ready when your number's called. So.
And you've said Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers are some of your guys that you like to watch. What about their games do you like, and what sort of things do you try and pick and incorporate into your own game?
I think from Peyton Manning, I mean, he's my favorite quarterback of all time. I think you can just see he doesn't throw the prettiest ball. I mean, he doesn't have feeling in his right hand. He can't really spin it as he used to, but the understanding that he has for the game, he's able to anticipate things. He's able to change protections quick. He has a great understanding for the game without having to be that talented or that gifted. I think that's the biggest thing for me is being able to get to that level, is being able to just have an understanding, like I said, where I'm anticipating things. And then Aaron Rodgers just is a freak, the throws that he makes and all the arm angles, his footwork and everything. So sometimes try to work that in without getting too crazy.
Has there been a moment in camp where you said the game's still a little bit quick and you're trying to incrementally slow it down? Has there been sort of a practice or a moment or a play where it started to feel very slowed down, where you felt really comfortable?
I mean, it's never going to feel slow, like I said. I mean, the scrimmage felt pretty fast-paced, and that was kind of like a step back almost. But like I said, from the spring, it's completely different. And I just feel like my head's not just spinning up at the line of scrimmage. I kind of have an understanding of where I got to be with the ball and what I got to do with protections.
And I know you're a little bit busy this morning, but the Big Ten sort of struck a deal, media rights deal, $7 billion. You're going to be the guy that's going to reap those benefits because it goes into effect in 2023. Just one caveat was that there's going to be a Black Friday game. I'm not sure how that'll work out. What would your thoughts be on potentially playing Michigan on that Black Friday slot if it comes down to it?
I don't even know what the Black Friday spot is. I really don't know what you're really talking about, to be honest. But when that team up north comes in here, we're always going to want to beat up on them.
When you look at a guy like Caleb Brown, he's not necessarily going to fit the mold of some of the guys who've been wide receivers here in the last few years. But what does he bring in terms of elusiveness, in terms of what he can do in the open field? What have you seen out of him in Kansas?
He's got juice for sure. He's a very quiet guy, just likes to get in and get work done, and he never really says anything, never really showboats or anything like that. He just gets in, gets to work, and so I think just that subtle demeanor and just he just has such a competitive drive where it doesn't matter who it is, he just wants to get after him and make plays. So he's just so quick and twitchy. He's been really good.
You talked a little bit about kind of the jump from high school to college and how it's kind of get there, I'm not in high school anymore kind of feeling, looking at the defense. Who has made the wow play? Has someone made a wow play when you were out there on offense so far this fall camp? Who's the most impressive play you saw?
I mean, I've seen a ton of freakish plays. In the scrimmage, Cam Brown made an unbelievable catch on a deep route, just jumped up, and it was kind of an underthrown ball. He kind of jumped up back into the field and made a catch that I wouldn't think was possible. I mean, it looked like he jumped 10 feet in the air. It was insane.
Ryan said he's been asked before about his quarterback play and stuff like that, and he said he was a very mental quarterback. I'm just kind of curious, what sort of things are you able to pick up from him, and sort of just describe his football mind and what he's been able to instill in you in playing the quarterback position?
Man, he knows so much. I mean, there's so many different plays, so many different ideas that he has. I mean, the other day he was showing stuff when back he was at Boston College. Like, his ideas are always rolling over, different ideas. And some of the stuff he thinks of, I would have never thought of. But he can just see stuff before I even see it. Like, we'll be on the field, and before the ball even snaps, he already knows where the ball is supposed to be going. So it's pretty crazy to kind of sit back and like really see how fast I got to be able to see things. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing stuff as fast as I should right now.
Thank you, Devin.
Thank you.